video. Today I want to talk to you about my knitting plans for this new year, 2025. New goals, new cast on energy. I'm loving it at the moment. So I thought let's use it and make a video about what I have on my knitting plans for this year. I have just counted how many things I have knitted this last year. I think it's turned around to be 7 or 8 things with I think 3 or 4 accessories and the rest are garments. So maybe not as much as other people may have been knitting last year. That was also something that I needed to take into account with like writing up my plans for this year because it showed how many I could do last year, so it should be around that number for me to be able to do it this year, I guess. So that was one of the things I took in consideration. Let's start. If you like this video, give it a like or subscribe to my channel and let's get into it. First things first is something that was on my wish list for a long time, but I have been debating about it, and that was starting the Esther sweater by Petiteknit. I had seen the cardigan on Merlin Knits Her podcast and I saw all these pictures on Instagram, but I just finished my Daydreamer cardigan by Knits.bykimberley, so I didn't want to start another cardigan just yet. So I went for the sweater and it's taking its shape already. I'm going to show you because it's already on the needles and I have made some progress. Ta-da! I am knitting it up and I've just joined for the shoulders, or after like the arms, what do you call it? So I've finished the top section. I'm knitting this up in a size small in the recommended yarn. So it's the Isager Jensen together with the soft silk mohair, and I believe they're both in like the AO color, A0, so it's like the white color that they have. I do not have anything like this textured or in this color in my wardrobe yet, so I think this is going to be a great staple. Loving the progress so far. It's addictive, and yeah, in my podcast I will go into more details, but this was on my make list for 2025, and 1 of January I started this and now we are in week 2, so yes, quite some progress on it for this last couple of weeks. Very happy with that. And on my make wish list is also by Petiteknit the Sophie hood. I have seen the Sophie scarf so many times and I've never knitted one up, not the small one, not the big one, but it kept grabbing my attention, and now she came with the Sophie hood last year, like at the end of the year, and I thought, oh, I really want to make that. So I am trying to figure out what I want to do yarn wise. I saw she recommended like Eco Soft and Snevnook, but I have knitted a lot in Snevnook last year, so I want to try something else, and I would love to make it in a cashmere. So I'm gonna check out if I can find some cashmere yarn that fits gauge and everything and is sort of affordable in a way. I know it's expensive, but I really want it to be something soft, so I think I'm gonna go for that. And we're gonna go on 2 trips quite soon. I'm gonna go skiing with my boyfriend in February, so 2.5 weeks or something. We are going to Italy for a week, go skiing, And a month after that, we have a Japan trip. So I also want something on the side that is easy to knit up. And I think the Sophie hood is perfect for that and really a staple for my wardrobe. So that's definitely gonna be on my needles. Same as another hat. I don't know which hat yet, but I have leftover Snevneck pink from my cardigan, and I think it's enough to knit up a simple hat, maybe a weekend hat, or not the weekend hat, the one in 2x2 rib from Petiteknit. And yeah, I think I'm gonna try to achieve that. That's are still some wintry accessories that I would like to get finished quite soon. I don't know if this is too ambitious for me, but we'll see. I feel like these are slow months, so I feel like I can knit a lot. I mean, I tend to grab my needles more when it's around this time of the year, so we gotta make use of that. Then quite a hefty project, and that is probably the Dagmar sweater from Petiteknit as well. I know maybe a bit boring all Petiteknit, but I just go with what speaks to me, and they tend to speak to me. I did like the cardigan. I don't know if the cardigan is something I would knit, but then she came with the zip sweater, and I thought that would be perfect for like a big sturdy sweater. So I would love to knit it in a wool that's not as soft, and then also not as pilling maybe as other yarns are, but that would be perfect. I did saw a video from Morgan Unraveled. She is starting a cal for this sweater. I don't know if I'm gonna like participate in the cal. It's good that there is something online that I can maybe peek at once in a while and see the progress they make, and maybe it can be an inspiration for me as well. I feel like it's quite an intense project, so it's nice that people are in it together. So maybe I will join the cal, but we will see. We first have to finish this Esther sweater that is also, well, it feels basic, but it's not basic. It's engaging enough, but it's also easy enough for you to not look at the chart all the time, because there's kind of a way to keep track of the pattern by just counting your stitches. That's quite easy. So when you get the hang of it, you can just knit away. And it's also working perfectly on my new Xiaogu needles. I've got them for Christmas this year, and it's been a blast knitting with them. It's so easy on the hands. I feel like I'm quite of a pusher on the needles, and I feel like with the wooden ones there was more grip, so it took more power of my hands to move the stitches, and now it's just going fairly easy. So I think that would be also very nice to knit like the Dagmar sweater with the cables on, because it's just easier on the hands. Then another big project. I don't know if I can make all these projects, but they're on my wish to make list, and it's the Jenny jacket v-neck. This last year, at the end of the year, I went to a knitting meetup here in Amsterdam with Sherry, and it was very lovely. She's from Good Knits, and we got to meet a lot of people that are interested in the same hobby, and I really like that. And there were also a girl, and I follow her on Instagram as well. She had knitted up the Jenny jacket v-neck, and I asked her like, would you recommend? And she said definitely recommend, 100%. She wears it a lot, she said, and it's because it's the v-neck version, it's also from top down. So that is a bless as well. And in the end, I watched another video, I don't know by whom, but she said essentially it's just a 2x2 rib, but then once in a while you sort of cross them over to get the pattern. So it's on my wish list. Don't know what kind of yarn yet. Maybe a knitting for olive combination. I feel like that's a very nice combination for this kind of garments. So it's further down the line. Probably it's going to be or the Dagmar sweater or Jenny G, like the Jenny jacket v-neck, because I can't do only crazy knits. I need some easy knits as well. So I do really want to make a basic sweater this year that it's tight fitting, so not loose but tight, not especially on the body that it has to be form fitting, but I want the arms to be like fitting, and I want it to be ideally in cashmere in a basic color that I can just use all the time. However, it's going to be an expensive project, and I do want to have the perfect pattern for it. I know that is going to be something I have to look into and further. I think there is some people adjusted the poppy tee from Petiteknit to a long sleeve, and if I just look at the sizing or maybe do some decreases on the body to get it a bit form fitting, that could be an option. Or I think Wool and Beyond has a nicely basic tight fitting long sleeve that maybe could be an option. We'll see. That is something further down the line, but really want to give a priority to this upcoming year next to the bit more cabled or structured patterns. I can just really see myself in this super basic sweater that I can just use all the time and is soft so it can be on my skin. But yeah, that's gonna be probably a bit expensive, but in the end, probably really worth it. So back to the basics and now back to structured. I have really seen some lovely sweater number 28, I believe it is, by My Favourite Things Knitwear. I really like the construction. However, as I mentioned in my last video where I do a little welcome back recap video, you see bulging on the neck in the area of the collarbones, and somebody commented on the video that probably it is because of the high neck combined with the shoulder shaping construction. But I thought maybe if I lowered the collar, so do not make it a high collar, maybe I could make it in a way that it doesn't happen. But yeah, if you have any tips or if you have knitted it and you don't have the issue, please let me know. It's something that is a make or break for me on this pattern to knit it, yes or no, because I like that it's simple but not only stockinette. So it has something, but the overall look of it gives elegance to me, and I would really like to make something like that. However, I do want it to be nice fitted for my body, and I doubt that at this moment. So that's a maybe. And what I have learned this last couple of 2 years in my knitting journey is that I'm not a great summer garment knitter. So what does that mean? I don't finish them. I think it's the 3mm needle part. I like it, and all the ones that I have attempted to make, I finished the body. However, all the detailing from the neck and the arms is where I sort of discard the project and stop with it. So I watched another everything that I've knitted in 2024 video from somebody who made the cloud top, and I made the cloud sweater, and I really like it with like the easy details and there's not a lot going on. So I thought maybe that is a good option to make as a summer top because there's not a lot of after work. So you just knit it, not a I-cord, nothing. So that would be something that I'm considering, and maybe even in more of a woolly yarn. So not especially like a summer yarn, but maybe a mixture. So 80%, or I saw an 80%, 20% linen from Isager that I thought maybe would be a fit for this. However, yeah, that's something I have to look into further. It's just that I came across the pattern and I thought, oh, maybe that's something that I could do and not give up on as a summer knit. And then in the end, to close it off, I think I want to knit some more socks, and especially do it with all the sock yarns that I have left over in stash. So probably some vanilla socks with different colors, or something that I can get rid of my yarn, and because it's all like 30 grams balls that are left over, not enough for me to knit a sock with. I could knit I need probably around 60 grams, 65, 70 grams for a pair of socks. So it should be doable if I if I just mix and match all these leftover balls and make something beautiful with it. And I think that sort of sums up the year already for me, because I feel that is already quite a big list for what I am able to make in a year, and probably some of them maybe are not going to happen, or maybe are going to happen. I don't know yet. A few of them I've really set my mind on, and that's going to happen. But as I said, some are just still open for debate, and I also don't want to decide everything beforehand, because during the year people come out with new patterns, and I also want to be able to just see a pattern, and if I like it, make it and buy some yarn for it. So I still want to have that option open this year. That is definitely an option, as I am not a person who buys a lot of yarn beforehand. So I really pick out a pattern, buy the yarn, and then make the garment. And by doing that, I don't feel guilty if I decide to switch to another pattern and do have yarn in my stash that is not suitable for it. But we will see. The year is long and it's just the second week of January, but these are my first thoughts for this year, and I really hope that at the end of the year I can look back on it and say, okay, I did make them or I did not, but overall I just want to have a good knitting year and enjoy my craft. So I think that's the takeaway of this video. Be inspired, but make what you want to make and feel good about it. And that's different for everybody. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video on just enjoy this new knitting year, and I hope you're gonna be in touch and we're gonna be inspired, and we're gonna have a good knitting year here on YouTube. So yes, bye for now and see you in the next video.